try to screenshot my scanners at the end of the day, so I'll know what's been like up at the end of the day, what will be in play for the next day, being that I'm mostly updates on if all the day one gap is the same day, so I have like multi-day runs. So the first thing I traded was the TL, because I had a plan from yesterday. So basically I got home, I look at my plan for I usually make that I think so I had a TL was one bias that could hold 6. It to dip maybe to like even 560. My idea was if it holds 560, I would be still happy on a long side as long as it reclaims 6 in the afternoon and then pushes. But actually it dipped to 580 in the pre-market, and then it reclaimed 6 and pushed from there, which was on I got home about somewhere around here. Managed to draw like this, but since I wasn't sure how far it's gonna go and there was no trap, I wasn't confident of looking at it for long on this. But it actually didn't get engaged like any shorts over here, which I'm pretty happy with, because I was like checking daily for a reasonable level that where it might go and where it might reject. Couldn't find like anything very obvious that would shout at me, and I didn't like price action over here. I was actually right, and then once it gets like 9, I think I was looking maybe on the daily something even 10, but I wasn't thinking that it's gonna get there. Started seeing some selling over here, and didn't get any of those because as well I was thinking like maybe even 10, those like even maybe higher, but in hindsight actually this was quite a decent short area, especially this one. After this big volume of the day, try to push again with lower volume, nothing comes in, there's no selling in, and since I hesitated so long not taking this, I kind of FOMO'd a little bit in this area. There was some selling and tape wasn't the easiest of thing, because it was a little bit like low liquidity, some spreads, and it was hard to get good fills, so I didn't get fill where I wanted, a little bit higher, so time to bid. Was as well didn't want to risk all this, because that was already like much smaller size for the price of Ithaca. So we couldn't like really risk this because that would have been too much for some reason, I thought. And of course pick like a random level, but top tick stop. FOMO chased again because there was again selling. And again risked the same level because I thought it's not gonna go there, and went for it and just left my stop and left it alone. Of course it gave like a nice little fade. So got a little bit upset, and then I switched to TRHC, which was a day one gap up, not even gap up, it was just up and day up. With this, I took a little bit bigger loss than I wanted, because it was risking like 20 cents, but considering the price of the ticket, I suppose it's maybe right. A little bit poor entries. Good that I actually avoided all this. Had a good plan from yesterday, which is actually not easy to plan day before for the afternoon trades. So So I had a decent idea and plan on this to go long in the afternoon if it gives me a trap and whatnot. So after this, basically I just left it alone, and I'm quite okay. Not happy with fills, but general idea, yeah, I could have been more patient to actually wait for this, like a bigger pop, but it's all hindsight, to be honest. Anyways, I moved on to usually I would mark my charts as you saw me do, but since I'm recording my review in a video, I'll just link it to my charts YouTube link. So that was that. ETL, can have a look at this. So yeah, that was my idea when I made a plan. I have these trend lines on like hourly, because I think the green, I marked them on the hourly. So I had this like one big trend line like this, then I have this level from here to these stops, connecting these stops, connecting these, this as well in the pre-market. So most of the times I don't count that as like as a high volume on the multi-day things. So all the volume was, to be honest, under 5, below 5, below 6. So everything was, all the buyers were so in control, and anyone who was shorting like that in these levels over here and still being stubborn, so most of the shorts were stuck. So I was expecting like a squeeze. If it holds this, basically reclaims that trend line, reclaims this horizontal one, and which it actually did. So that was my plan on this. Next we have next trade was TRHC. So we had this, didn't get filled over here, actually on this one. Was quite happy as well with this, with patience on this, even if I didn't get filled on that one twice, would have been risking as well this high or this high to take this little unwind. Didn't join in here because I was expecting for like late day fade entry. Didn't get in here. They may have been, wasn't watching tape fully at this moment, because it wasn't under 9 EMA, it wasn't on J line, so I was thinking it's not real and above VWAP. So I thought, okay, higher yo, but it may have pushed again basically. So waited for like a clear J line. This one came here, so waited all the way for this. It sort of pushed into this area, this supply, rejected, got in. Once it faded below, I was expecting for more unwind to like 205 or whatever, like final target. And once it faded, I moved just my stop break even and left it alone to see if it works or not. It was pretty much like low volume, not much happening. Next one, and then after like not getting filled on this and not really fading all that much, and those couple stops on EVTL, and then seeing it fade without me, I kind of started looking for anything to trade, and I decided I'm gonna have a play with ADXN. Idea was, it was quite, tape was moving and it was action, and level 2 was active, so I thought like, okay, let's see what it shows me. Idea was I'm gonna do this like trade in a range, but it was mostly was a boredom trades, and maybe even like a tilt one, considering how TRHC went and EVTL. The first one, I'm not entirely sure why I took this. I can't actually justify these. This one, not sure why yet, but these ones I saw the offer was stacking, and I was trying to get my entries as close as I can to basically that huge offer trap, and risking like 1, 2, or 3 cents on a full size, and hoping that it's all gonna work in the end. If it doesn't, I was actually quite okay with a tight risk. The problem was these entries, which I'm not entirely happy with this ad, since I wasn't like full size at the top. After this wash, as I'm selling, I was like trying to load as much size as I can, because I thought it's like, okay, it's gonna break down now, considering the time of day. It's like late FA time. This is like up nice on a day, but it didn't. So I just kept taking like these little like cuts, small cuts, not actually like big ones. But the idea, yeah, it was more of a boredom trades, these ones. And I was already, which is not great, that I didn't respect my risk from around I believe somewhere here. I took like a couple of stuffs. I should have like left it alone, or be a little bit more patient with it and actually give me a signal, which normally I would be looking for that exhaustion, like stuff on a big volume, not just like small volume pops or whatever, but actually a move like this. It will run up, parabolic, big volume, lots of selling, and just sort of dump. But it didn't, so I tried to play the range. This took 3 stops. I probably should have stopped. As you can clearly see, this was just absolutely random sort of trade, just thinking like, okay, it's definitely gonna break down. And this ad as well got tricked by level 2 and tape, because yeah, I got stuck very on that big offer, hoping that it's gonna work. I mean, because they were holding and like refreshing, but after watching tape on a meeting, it was actually quite obvious, because the tape was going not in this, but I think in this level over here as well. They had like a big offer stack at around 236, 237, and tape was going red, a big offer stack, but small bid. I think was only 1 on a bid, and like hidden buyer, and they were selling, and it's like not moving down, and the offer is actually stacking even more on the offer and not going down. So that was probably obvious, like a hidden buyer, which actually I saw on a tape, noticed on a TRHC before I got stepped out break even. Saw exactly the same thing, saw a hidden buyer, and then pushed straight after. But yeah, once it gave this, I was looking for that. I was looking at the time on a candle close, and it was already like very early in a candle. Volume was already at around like 2, 3, 400. So I knew it's going to be quite a high volume on this candle. So waiting for that stuff in the high of day, or like 250-ish level. I was waiting for this. Took first anticipation at that level, smaller size. Then the tape actually changed, which I noticed only after we watched the meeting. So it was completely opposite than it was at 230 level. it was on the opposite side. They started propping the bid, huge orders on the bid, and tape was pushing green, and they kept adding on a bid, and there was like a hidden seller at the top at 249. There was one on the offer, and it just didn't budge to the upside, even like on a big volume. Then it did like a little wash, with which I joined in on a full size, risking that 250, and then it reclaimed a little bit, which spooked me, but I had my risk set, so I just let it play out, and it gave like a nice little dump. Then added small, recycled small here, didn't add more size because I was expecting it to go a little bit higher, like to at least to maybe even 220 or something like this, at least to the J lines, to give the JLR. So didn't add full size. Once I saw this wash, sellers like coming in from that level, so I chased it a little bit with a full size here. When I realized that I brought my average a little bit too low, I took some size off here, not a big but like small size off, got stopped out break even, which was 224, and then there were sellers as well, so I joined in again in here, then added more size here, took a little bit off in the wash, again small recycle, took a little bit off, and then just kept it for a little bit longer. So that's this. Not much good on this, actually, on this trade. I can't be very happy with it, even though I closed quite an okay on the day. But the problem was that after this red line, I was already very close to my max day loss. But I had an open trade on the TRHC, which was in the money, so I was like, okay, I'll take like one more. And shame that I wasted those on this. So I think after this I was already at max day loss, and then I still didn't stop, which is unacceptable. And okay, it worked this time, catching this, but other time it may have pushed higher, and I would have taken like another stop, and then probably kept fighting, and I don't know if I would, but yeah, that's bad that I actually kept trading past this thing, or at least wasn't patient enough after this line just to give my last shot on actually what I'm looking for, which is high volume stuff into like a clear level, like high of day or pre-market high, or level like this into a good resistance. So yeah, mixed kind of day, and yeah, that's regarding my trades. What else did I have? I also didn't trade TBLT for some reason, which is strange because I had a plan for this as well from previous day, which was I had it marked as a micro float at open with like a weakness and trap into like a little bit lower levels, even except like 360 to hold, and as long as it reclaims and pushes higher for a long in the afternoon on reclaim of open level above 380. This was again my thesis, was that it made this like initiation volume, so it did this, then it made a leg up above this level, pushed higher, so I was hoping that as well most of the volume is kind of, I would say, below, and as long as it holds this level I was expecting a push higher. So basically, yeah, trap all these, like short, everyone starts shorting from here. Stubborn shorts, it holds in the after hours, pushes a little bit in the pre-market. I was kind of hoping, oh, that's from previous days as well, level. That's why I was, yeah, exactly. So that was my idea, because a lot of volume is as well below. It made all these like leg ups. So this one, it's like exhausting these sellers that were trapped here, longs that were trapped here. So like exhausting, testing it once, testing it again. So they kept selling off. New shorts joining in. Of course, they're gonna get squeezed. Hold that level. Another squeeze. So anyone who was short here, they get squeezed as well. And then as long as it holds this level, $4, and above, I was looking for it to go on a long side. But I don't know why I didn't trade it today. So plan seems to kind of in a way worked. What else I do? Then yeah, I put things in my my own Discord channel, where I put the screenshot of the scanners and my plan, screenshotted plan with a chart, sometimes without the chart. And yeah, I think that's for reviews. More or less, that's how I do it. Okay, that's ADX, TRHC, yeah. So there's that.